Cyril's back. Yes. Let's talk about it. Bonjour. So, episode 11, penultimate episode. We're nearly there with Andor. And I've got to say, straight away, this episode did not disappoint. It's properly hooked me in now. It's properly hooked me in. That little robot, that little red robot right at the beginning in the early Andor scenes. I'm trying not to give away too many spoilers now we're getting to the end, to be fair. Because if you haven't watched it by now, just go and watch it, and then you know, doing a review of episode 11, I suppose I shouldn't be that afraid to give spoilers. But the Star Warsy robot, that little red big metal thing in the early episodes. Yes, it was pure. He's turned into pure Star Wars now. B, I think his name is. I think they called him pure Star Wars. The Mon Mothma episodes that I've been moaning about up till now, I've got to admit they're now hitting home. And the daughter that was really annoying. There's a really creepy scene where it all gets a bit Hitler Youth, like where she's in a cult with other girl. I don't know, girls of her age, whatever you want to call it. There's aliens, alien planets aplenty. It's really Star Wars heavy as well, with the aliens that you recognise, robots you recognise. There is a scene with old Sven where he's got to escape this tractor beam Empire starship that is so tense. It's not done in a childish way. It's just a nicely tense slice of drama dressed up in Star Wars that, yeah, I really did enjoy. I've been enjoying it more and more since, somehow something changed as soon as we got to the prison episodes. I'm not saying I was hating on it in those early episodes, but I've got to admit, these prison, and yeah, there weren't a lot of action in this, but this is what I mean. So there weren't a lot of action in this episode, right? Action as in, pew pew. But every scene moved the story forward to the end. It's gathered pace. Like I say, even the Mon Mothma scenes, got to admit that they're resonating now. Her character is coming across like sympathetically now. Like I really was, yeah. Got to admit, it is all these, and it's good sci-fi. It is really, or sci-fi. Let's call it science fantasy rather than science fiction. It was very, very Star Wars. And like I was Sven, like I say, that scene, and there's one scene of Sven's when he's dealing with the old rebellion and trying to explain that it ain't all gonna go well for the bloke they're setting up, and it's dark. It's dark, but like I said last week, I won't try and repeat myself last week. I'm trying to be. This will be a really quick video because obviously there's not a lot new to say, except, yeah, it's get this as a penultimate episode. This really, I thought this really did deliver. Like I say, even the little cutesy robot that's more like a pet than a robot, but that's pure Star Wars. So you allow it. Well, I do anyway. We always have. From day one, R2D2 and C3PO, you can't allow that within any other kind of framework except Star Wars, because it does not make sense. But that's about it basically. It's setting it up. I think all the strands, pure dismal minus though, I've got to say, you didn't see a lot of Andor in this episode, which is classic them. But do you know what, I didn't care, because we had Cyril back, we had his mum back, Cyril sneaking around, and the bloke from the first job he had right at the beginning of the series, and even the the sounds of his call, his video call he's making, and when it cuts off, and you got all the like the analogy sounds of when we all used to first log into the internet. They're just very well done. Again, all the acting performances. There isn't a weak one in it. Maybe if I really had to nitpick, which I don't really want to, but the Mon Mothma's niece or cousin, whatever it is, who was in who was in the attack on Aldani, and Sven's mate. And am I hallucinating, or did he call her Leia? It can't be that, can it? I don't know why I've just suddenly thought of that. But and she's a miserable, like, yeah. Anyway, if I was going to nitpick, I would say that I kind of don't get that. That isn't building up any tension for me. Everything else is, though. So nevertheless, like I say, that's really nitpicky. Other than that, they're building up the tension nicely, and I'm properly looking forward to next week's episode. As the ultimate self, but I've got to admit, they've hooked me in. I look forward to it every week, and I recommend it and even to people that aren't too enamoured with Star Wars, to be fair, because there's enough in it for the fans, but not so much that it kind of makes it childish. I can't think of the infantilise. It doesn't infantilise the story. They don't allow it, and it looks like Kathleen Kennedy's touch on this show is very light. It's very light. It's very well balanced on all the other crap that they normally cram, or she insists they cram into Star Wars, and that's what's spoiling it since Dismal's had it. So I think I'll leave it there. There's not really, like I say, other than watch one video from last week if you want some more, and from the week before, because it's been good every week. And I'll leave it there, and I'll bid you adios.